It is a lovely sunny day. Good afternoon from South Yorkshire. I'm in Rotherham at the Magna Science Adventure Centre. There are 50 tram stops on this Sheffield Supertram, but behind me is where they're building number 51, and we're here for a look around. Historically, Sheffield had its tramway system which operated up until the 1960s, but the modern-day Supertram network opened in 1994, and with its 50 stops on the system, it also includes a tram train section out to Rotherham, which is why, as we'll see in a moment, two different types of rolling stock are required. And the brand new tram stop that's about to open, called Magna, will bring the total up to 51, and is located between Meadowhall South and Rotherham Central, and will be served by 2 tram trains per hour. Bin bag. Onto the platforms of this, well, is it a stop or is it a station? Because it feels like a huge build. It doesn't feel like a little pokey tram stop, it feels like a proper station, and yet trams will be stopping here. We'll chat to David in a second to get the date and find out what's going on. But also, before that, as I was up in Sheffield for the day today, this morning, I said, could I pop in and go down to Nunnery Depot, which is where the Sheffield Supertrams are maintained, and so this was my morning down at the depot. At the depot, Nigel shows me around, and our first stop is to the control room.
So we're at Nunnery Depot, which is the Supertram depot in Sheffield, and we're at the control room. So here we have a power controller and a traffic controller. They monitor the trams, they monitor the service and the power to the trams as well. So this is the nub for monitoring the trams when they're out in service. The first tram leaves depot around 5 o'clock in the morning, and the last one gets back onto depot about 1 o'clock. That gives us a vital period overnight that we can then maintain the trike and clean the trams and get them ready for service the next day. So on a normal service day, we're looking about 23 trams in service. We have 25 of the older Siemens trams and 7 CityLink Voslo trams. So many of those trams, the CityLink trams, are allocated just for tram train service because they have a different wheel profile.
Out of the control room and into my favourite part, the maintenance depot, where Nick shows us round.
Essentially I have here, all our maintenance is done here on the tram. We do it all in-house predominantly. The area we're looking at here is for bogie refurbishment. Slightly different on our Siemens trams because of the nature of where we are in Sheffield and like Rome built on the 7 hills. All our bogies are powered, which is unusual, so all the 4 bogies have power, and that's to deal with the inclines. We actually have the steepest track in the UK. And then if we sort of pan round, the main area of the shed here is for tram maintenance. The team that you'll see wondering about, we're just right on shift change at the moment, but they will do all the maintenance on both the Siemens, the older Siemens, the 25, 30 years old trams, also on the 7 Stadler, which are much more technical, more up to date, the CAN bus, the more technology involved. So there's a great spread of skills, and we pride ourselves very much in terms of we deal with it in-house.
The Supertram depot also has its own wheel lathe.
So we do what calls a zero cut, so the wheel, the edge of the wheel will naturally wear around the wet rail. To maintain the life, you want to take that little bit of indentation out, so we'll do a very, very fine, delicate cut to flatten it out. And then again, when you use the differential between your flange, which is critical for the switches and crossings, maintaining that and keeping that safe to the wheel, we'll actually do a much deeper cut there to maintain that ratio. So quite a skill.
And I can't turn down the opportunity of going in a pit under a tram.
Lead on, let's do it.
Right, so we've made it all safe. It's not going to move. Let's traverse one way to the other. We then move on to the bogies. So now we've seen these being repaired or overhauled lower down. These are them in situ. So exactly again, you can see the 2 gearboxes, you can see the drive motor and the wheels. That's exactly what we've seen down there, but now actually mounted on the tram. A thing with the Sheffield trams as well, they're all low floor. So where you would have it, such as Manchester or other, where they're at rail height, we're actually low floor, which gives us some challenges in terms of equipment. This is the articulation. So 3 carriages for the Sheffield, 2 articulations, and then we come on to the second of the 4 bogies. And again, as we said, the unusual part about Sheffield is the gradients we have, and therefore every bogie is driven.
And as I'm not a regular Sheffield tram user, I asked Nick just to clarify on the 2 different types of trams.
2 fleets, 2 models of fleet on depot. The older Stadler Duag, which is the 30-year-old fleet, and then we've got the more modern CityLink, as you can see on here, which is a Stadler vehicle. And these are the dual vehicles that can either be configured as tram trains, so it can run on network rail as well as our system, or they're configured as a tram.
So this is the old original.
That's the old, so that's
From what year? Just remind me.
Oh, the 30 years old.
Okay.
So that's,
and this, with the different profile at the front, it's got this sort of black thing coming down. That's the tram or tram train. That's the newer one.
Right.
I didn't even realise there were two types. I have learned something. Okay.
These were purchased because
Back inside, and Nigel quickly shows me a fabulous history board with photos going back to the 1990s when the Supertram opened, and then expanded, including the tram train service which started in 2017. And there's the possibility of even more future extensions. But I'm here mainly to look at the new additional stop to the network, so let's go back to Magna and have a look around. And I chat to Angus, who explains the layout of the new stop.
One of the safety cases before we built this scheme was we wanted to prevent tram users from not thinking it's a city centre and they can walk straight across the railway. So one of the key design aspects was to stagger the platforms to make it a more difficult route. We've also installed, as you can see, the 6-foot fencing, put signage on that. We've got a yellow line here. The PA systems will also announce a message to stand back when freight trains and also passenger trains who also use this line approaching.
We might have trouble with the sunshine here. It's a glorious day. Chatting to Angus, who's pointed out to me that the Supertram platforms are 30 metres in length. Obviously, you can't build a new station, a tram stop whilst trains are running, so there's been periods of time, mainly weekends, Saturday evenings, Saturday nights, when no trains run through here, and that's when they've put in the platform there. And he's saying that the tolerance. Oh, there's a tram coming through just now, right there. See, it's a live line, whizzing through the new station. Would you call it a tolerance? There's a 5 centimetre gap between
Approximately 5 centimetres between the edge of the platform and the tram.
between the edge of the platform and the edge of the tram. Okay. It's quite a big build, even though it's such a small, as I say, small as in like a short platform length. It's a really nice proper build, full accessibility. The lifts aren't actually working today, but the lifts do work. They've just been switched off for today because we're just having a site visit, but full accessibility from one platform over to the other. I'm on the footbridge. I'm just trying to work out my bearings, but I've got the route diagram here. Hang on. So okay. So the yellow line branches off to Meadowhall, but the tram train, Meadowhall South Tinsley, which carries on to Rotherham Central and Parkgate. So Magna is the one before Rotherham Central. So Rotherham must be in that direction. Okay, I'm just getting my bearings. Okay.
And there's also the South Yorkshire People's Network, a new integrated transport system that has been launched and designed to bring buses, trams and trains into one coordinated network. It aims to make travel simpler, more reliable and greener, helping create a more connected transport system for the region's future.
It's a really exciting time for Supertram here in South Yorkshire. So we've got Magna tram train stop opening on Thursday the 9th of April, so that'll be fantastic. Looking forward to welcoming passengers at the station very soon. Last year we had over 9 million passengers use the network in its whole, so that was great news. We've got £600 million to invest in the network in terms of the track, renewals, maintaining the fleet and refreshing the fleet, and looking to procure new tram fleet from the 2030s. We've just secured £7.5 million from the DFT for feasibility studies into how we can extend the tram train network up to Stocksbridge between Sheffield and Barnsley. So really good positive things happening here on the Supertram network.
In one of my least used videos years ago, I think I was at Chappleton, which I've no doubt you've watched them all, right? You will remember there was a hilarious moment in the platform shelter at Chappleton where somebody had left a broom. So now whenever I see a broom, I sort of get the urge to so I can say I've helped clean up and tidy and ready Magna tram stop, ready for its opening. Right?
For Thursday the 9th of April.
Thursday the 9th of April. There, I'll just do a bit of a... Why is this broom? stops, and the majority of the tram stop is finished, so it will be ready to open in April. Just out here, they're doing a few finishing touches, like the bike rack. This is going to be the car park, so this will be tarmacked over, and there'll be parking spaces and stuff. So all that bit is pretty much done. They're just finishing up the outside bits now. Okay.
So the new Magna tram stop is opening soon. My thanks to David and Angus for showing me around, and to everyone at the Supertram depot this morning. Thanks for watching. Press subscribe. See you in the next video.